Welcome to today's session. We are going to discuss about how to do a CI/CD project, continuous integration and continuous development project using GitHub, VS Code, and Hostinger. So let's imagine we have some source code in VS Code, and we're going to push that information into GitHub. From GitHub, we are going to host it in the Hostinger. So how to update your website directly to Hostinger platform? That's what today's session is all about. So let's imagine we have some HTML code. Let's take an example of a index.html or a simple website. Let's take a static website. We have the source code in the VS Code. We configure source code, VS Code, initialize the GitHub repositories and everything in the VS Code. Once it is done, we're going to push the information into GitHub. Once you do a commit, the data will be updated in the GitHub repository. And once we create the GitHub repository is ready, we're going to create a webhook and update that information. And we're going to update where exactly in Hostinger platform that we are going to update our website. So here I'm going to take an example of in a website hosting. I've just created a folder. In that particular folder, we're going to update some information. So we can go ahead and do that. So what are the processes that we have? We should have a VS Code, and we should have a GitHub, and we should have a Hostinger. So in VS Code, we should get installation. So all my previous videos, we discussed about how to create a VS Code, Visual Studio Code, and how to integrate or initialize sync commits and everything with the GitHub. I've already have a previous video. So and we should also purchase a Hostinger, platform. And in Hostinger platform, we should update our domain names and everything. So let's go directly and start working with it. So let me open. So this is hostinger.com, and they have very good offers which is happening on right now. So I'm getting into hostinger.in. This is my India domain. So starting with they have a hosting package starting with 149, and I've seen that Hostinger gives you a hosting in a really good price. So I've taken up a Hostinger platform. Here I'm going to update my username and authentication process. Okay, I've already logged into my account. This is my Hostinger account. I have a couple of my website hosted here, and I could also see that they have 8 websites, and today I'm going to log into affordableweb.in. This is my dashboard. In my dashboard, I have a premium website details, a domain is active, and I have free hosting email. I can manage daily backups, I can manage, and I have speed test. I can run file manager where my files have been updated. If I wanted to have databases, I can update that information. And if I've installed WordPress, so I can directly get to my WordPress account from here. And right now I have around 100 visitors over 24 hours, so you get all those information here. And website is safety features, I have XSL certificates which is updated, and they have a lot of other features. And coming down to my very attracted one option that I've seen is advanced option that other hosting providers doesn't have right now. They have something called as a Git. So when I come down to Git, I have a private Git repository, create a new repository, and I can add my manager's repository, branch, and directory. So in this directory, I can add deployment method. So I've used earlier, I just checked how the deployment work here, and also I can have an auto deployment method. So this is my page I want to start with. So before I get to that, I'll get back to my dashboard and I'll go to my file manager. There's a hosting a file manager page. Here I will get to know what are the files and folders available right now. And in files, I have the public.html. So this is where the location where my information get saved. So I have Mithun, WP admin, WP content, and WP include. So these are the folders available right now. Okay, so let's get back to my dashboard again, and I'll come down to my advanced and then get back to the Git. So here we're going to update the repository name. So I'll open my Git account. So this is my Git repository. I'm going to open the GitHub. So I'm opening my GitHub account. Okay, so this is my, let me just go and see, sign in. Shows me device verification code. Okay, it will be my Gmail account. Let me open my Gmail. So it says, please verify your account, your device. So I have my verification code here. I'll just copy. Oops. So verifying my account. Okay. So I'm in my GitHub account. So I have my couple of repositories which I've already created earlier. Let's go back to test. I'll just get back to another one. Let me check what. Okay. Here I have a simple index.html file here, and this has already been taken. So you can watch my previous videos how to connect your VS Code and create a repository. I'm not getting back to that screen. So I'll open with a new window. Okay, this is my VS Code terminal. Here I would go back to my view command palette. I'm going to clone my source code. So I'll say command palette open git clone. Okay, it's trying to open the git clone account. Now if you don't see that option, you can just type git hello Wait a sec. Um, Command palette. Yeah. So I'm going to update my link, my receiver git I want to clone. It shows me where exactly I want to update this information. I would say um, I want to create a new folder. Click on new and folder. That folder I'll say rudivo space test. So this is the location I want to update my details. Okay, select repository and clone in the git. So it's actually cloning the information that is there in my GitHub. And I will say open the repository. Okay, so I have index.html here. Okay, and I'll say example affordable web, this is a receiver, and affordable web, this is for receiver. So I have some contents here. I'm not worried about what is the information that I've updated here. So this is it. I would say yes, it is trusted. And I also wanted here to change some details for the first time. I'll just say testing and I'll say control S. So once it is control, I've saved this file. So there is I'll say testing COMMIT commit. I'll just go ahead and click on commit. Once my local repository update my commit, I want to sync the information that is updated. Sync changes. Okay, so it's in my the branch is the main branch. I'm going to update sync this file, and when we open my GitHub account, and you would also notice that the information that I've updated on my VS Code, there is 2 commit right now. Let's go ahead and check the name. Updated receiver, that's one single commit, and it is on December 10, 2022. And let's check if the new update has been updated. Yes, testing is committed and it has been updated. So I'll just get back to the code here. This is my index.html file code. So I'm going to copy this information. Once you copy this information, I'll go ahead and paste here the repository. Since my branch is master, it's not master, main, I'm going to update the name of the information, and I'm going to create a new repository. I would name this one as test and create a repository. So it shows me that there is a repository by test which has already been deployed, and we could also check this information if it is working. So I would come here and I will say affordable web-app.in web-app.in/txt and hit enter. We welcome to affordable web app. This is for testing, which has been updated here. Okay. Now, if I go ahead and update some more information here, let's say this is in testing in progress, and I'll save this information and I'll go ahead and commit. Testing in progress, I'll say commit. Yes, and then I'll ask the VS Code to sync that information to my central repository. That is nothing but my GitHub account. So it's getting this update has been getting updated, and we will see our update, what exactly happening with our update here in the GitHub. So in GitHub, let's say we have 3 commits, testing in progress, which has been updated. So if we go and update our information here, that update which has been updated in my GitHub account, which is not which is not updated here, because we have not updated the information for auto deployment. This is one of the key feature which is enabled in Hostinger in the GitHub location, where it asks you to do an auto deployment option. So what we have to do, we have to copy this link, open in the browser, the same browser that you have opened the GitHub account. You're trying to log into a GitHub account, where it is actually connected to our webhook, saying that we are trying to create a webhook, and we should have some login URL or webhook URL that we need to update in our webhook. So payload URL, that's the location where we are going to update that information, and it's active and everything is set fine. So add webhook is the one that we will do at the present moment, and let's see what happens here. Yes, so once it is done, the testing is in progress, it's been updated at that instance itself. So we have achieved something called as continuous development. So let's go ahead and test if that is working fine. So I am going to create one more update here, that is here. I'm going to test one more line, and I'm going to say it should be h1. This is also h1. So, and I'll say save this information. So I'll say updated line 8 in the local repository. I want to go ahead and commit that information. Once I commit that information, I also wanted that my GitHub also sync, or the central repository also update with the information that I've updated in my VS Code. So my VS Code is updating my central repository, that is a GitHub account, and if the sync has already been updated, or the GitHub gets updated with this information, then we should have the end result, that is here, affordable test type form. See, this has been already been updated without any intervention in the GitHub links, or let's say in the, we have done the auto deployment in a very simple 2 or 3 steps. This is usually very important when you are trying to work with multiple websites. If we want to do some action in a continuous integration process, so we have the code here code which has been updated in our dashboard. If you go to dashboard and if it's get to the file manager, and in file manager we have, you could also see that in public HTML file, public HTML, we have one more folder which is created as test. In test, we have that git information and index.html which has been updated. So we are able to achieve here a continuous integration from VS Code. From VS Code, you are actually pushing from a local repository to a central repository. And with the help of webhook, we are able to push the information to the hosting platform, and we are able to identify or update that information using the Git advance in Git. We have that option to get the information up without any problem. So we are so whatever changes that we do on your VS Code here, and we will go ahead and update that information. It will get updated on the GitHub, and from GitHub, using the webhook, we are able to push that information to your website. So this is what we are trying to explain today. So we will come up more informative information, and I hope that you're able to get some knowledge. And thanks for watching, and